all we'll start with the prayer. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कुम करोति वाचालं पंगुम लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमां वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. Wonderful. Thank you all for joining. Happy Kartik month to all of you. This is a very, very special month. Throughout the year, like English calendar has different months, January, February, March, April. That way our traditional calendar has different months, and this is considered so the English month is based on I guess solar calendar. Tamil calendar is lunar calendar, the moon calendar. So
Somehow
you will
I
see.
can't hear you anymore. Is it just me?
Orange.
I can hear both of you.
Okay. Shikan Prabhu, how about you drop off and join back again?
Hello?
Yeah, same. Yeah, we can also hear you both.
Okay. Let me, I think, okay, I just messaged Shikan Prabhu. So you can join. So similar way, there are different months, and every month in our Indian calendar is actually associated with different aspects of the Lord. And this is a very special month because this is the month which is called as Kartik month. Also, this month is dedicated for Srimati Radharani. So we see in our temple we have Radha Gopi Janavallabha. So every temple in ISKCON always start with Radha first. You see Radha Parthasarthi, Radha Kunja Bihari, Radha Landaneshwar, Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Radha Muralidhar. So every ISKCON temple first name is come of Srimati Radharani, and she is very special because she is the Ladini potency, the pleasure potency of the Lord, the pleasure of not this material world, the pleasure of spiritual world. So her only desire is to please Krishna. She is non-different from Krishna. That's very interesting for all of us. Even we may be connected as a husband and wife, we have a separate soul. But Krishna and Srimati Radharani's soul is non-different. Shivkan Prabhu, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Mamita Madhuri, thank you for joining.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. So this is the month of Srimati Radharani, and mother is always more compassionate towards the children versus the father. So this is a very special month when Srimati Radharani showers unlimited mercy on whoever is practicing their spiritual life. So I want to congratulate you because you are receiving unlimited mercy. What is the meaning of unlimited mercy here is, for an example, if you are chanting one round, just one round every day this month, it is multiplied by 1,000. So you get 1,000 time benefits than when you just practice compared to the regular month. So this is very special month. And then once in every 4 years there is a special month comes in, that is also considered to be a very special month. But every year you get Kartik month. This is a month on our Indian calendar. There are many festivals, and Kartik months mainly decorated with the beautiful festive of Diwali or Deepavali, however way you put it. Diwali is the month, or Diwali is the day. Diwali is the day when various pastime happen. We just know about one pastime, which is Lord Ramchandra coming back to Ayodhya after winning over Ravana. We just had Dashera a few days back. So Diwali is the day when Lord Ram comes to Ayodhya back after 14 years of banishment. So that is one pastime we know. There are various pastime which happened. Another pastime which happened during the Diwali day is Damodar Leela or Yashoda Damodar Leela. So Krishna, he was very naughty when he was a child. He would go and you see when we read Bhagavad Gita, we talk about yogis who do a sense control. Krishna would eat anything and everything pretty much. You would see the yogis would never lie. But Krishna, you see, he is lying. And then the other thing which you see is the yogis, they never steal, but you see Krishna stealing butter. So, what is Krishna's business every day is go and steal the butter from Gopi's house. And Yashoda Maya once asked, Kana, I make so wonderful butter. Why you have to go and steal another Gopi's house? And Krishna would say, they call me with so much of love, I cannot stop myself. And Krishna is the ultimate possessor of everything in this world. So he, even though if we call it as thief, he is not a thief because everything belongs to him. So what is thief in this case is Krishna is always hungry for love. And he is to get that love from devotees willing to go extra mile for that one. And there are tons of stories. And this is a particular pastime when Krishna one day was Yashoda Maya actually. So what had happened is Yashoda Maya was actually boiling milk, and this milk is a very special milk. Nanda Maharaj has 900,000 cows, and you may think, oh, how will that be accommodated in Vrajabhumi, which is beyond our logic brain. So he had special cows called as Padmaganda cow or Surabhi cows, and no, even special. There is a name there. I can't remember exactly. So Yashoda Maya would churn, would remove the milk from these cows. She will milk the cows, and these are special cows who will give Padmaganda milk. Very very special. And Yashoda Maya one day was boiling the milk, and while she was boiling the milk, she was also feeding milk to Krishna because Krishna was small. So Krishna was drinking milk from her mother. And Yashoda Maya realized I kept the milk for boiling, so she kept Krishna aside and went to take care of the milk. The moment she went, Krishna became very angry. How come you give me second priority? I should be your first priority. That is the love Krishna has for Yashoda. So, what does Krishna do? Krishna goes to another room where Yashoda Maya is keeping the butter. Kamadenu, yes, yes. Kamadenu is one, but there are special cows. But thank you for adding, Prabhuji. Um, so Krishna went on the other room where Yashoda Maya churned butter. Today's world, we go to Costco or some other store to buy the store made butter, but Yashoda Maya would actually make fresh butter for Kana every day. So Krishna went in there He took all his monkey friends. They went in. Krishna ate the butter, breaking the pods, and started eating butter. And he started feeding it to monkeys. When Yashoda Maya came, she didn't see Krishna, so she rushed. Where is he? So what she sees is all the butter is on the floor. Krishna's eating and also feeding monkeys. She picked up a whipping stick and started chasing Krishna. The monkeys ran away. Krishna also started running. They ran. Yashoda ran. He ran. Yashoda ran. He ran. Yashoda ran. Finally, Yashoda caught hold of him. And now, with seeing the stick in her hand, he was very scared. Imagine a person who is fear personified. Yamraj works under him is being fearful. Why he is becoming fearful? Because he is afraid of the love and fear the devotees. Excuse me. So Yashoda Maya now what she says is, because now you do every day, I want to actually teach you a lesson. So she has a wooden grinding motor. So she bring the ropes and started tying Krishna. And however rope she would bring, it will be 2 fingers short. So other gopis, when they saw, they also bring the ropes. Krishna has a tiny waist, but you can see what happens there actually is the rope is always two fingers short. And Yashoda Maya is puzzled. What is happening here? Because Krishna didn't want to get tied. So whatever she would try, it wouldn't happen. And she was sweating. And Krishna, seeing her sweat, actually realized, oh, she's struggling so hard, and Krishna let her bind her. And in Krishna's compound or Krishna's garden, there were two Arjuna trees, Yamal Arjuna trees. They were actually the sons of Kuvera. Kuvera is a treasurer in the heavenly planet of all the devatas. His sons one time were bathing in the river next to their whatever house, and they were actually playing with other women naked. And Narada Muni passed from there. When Narada Muni passed from there, the ladies covered themselves, but these Nalakumera and Manigriva, these were the names of these two heavenly people, son of Kuvera, did not cover themselves. They were because they were intoxicated with pride. Muni cursed them that you do not know how to behave in front of saintly people and you did not cover yourself. I curse to become trees. And they beg forgiveness. Please forgive us about that. At that time, Narada Muni says, you will become the tree because the curse has been already placed. So you will become the tree in Krishna's backyard. And Krishna will one day personally deliver you. So Krishna now, while he is being tied with grinding motor, he sees those trees and he remembered Narada Muni's promise. So he starts walking along with this grinding motor, crawling along with this grinding motor. And then he crosses between these two trees. And with this grinding motor, he pushes, and both these huge trees fell down. And two beautiful personalities came out of that tree offering pranam to Krishna. And they offered beautiful prayer to Krishna and they went back to heavenly planets. So that is a beautiful pastime which happened during this month. But now I want to share some lessons. When Yashoda Maya was 2 fingers short, what is those 2 fingers short? The acharyas explain, the great teachers explain those 2 fingers is one is our effort and second is Krishna's mercy. Both are needed. Until we don't put our endeavor, that is one aspect. A lot of people, I remember I had a very good friend of mine. He would never come for the temple. He would say, when God will call me at the time, I will go. So this with this story, it's just crystal clear. One has to put the endeavor. And in spite of all the endeavor, until Krishna's mercy is there, this endeavor is imperfect. So both are needed for us to actually attain Krishna Prem, or love of God. And that is what this beautiful month represents. We have Janmashtami, which is just one day. We have Radhashtami, just one day. We have Diwali, just one day. We may celebrate 3 days, but that's separate. But this month is entire month. This entire month gives us, checks or examines our commitment towards God. Like we commitment towards our family, with friends, and we are willing to go an extra mile for them. Krishna is also wants to see what is our commitment. And this is the month when people take commitment, more commitment to actually grow in spiritual life, thinking about how can I actually go an extra mile towards Krishna. So I wanted to share this insight. Any questions or comments before we start? Okay. So we are starting text 60 today. This is actually talking about Sthita Prajna, a person who is very controlled and he's very spiritually inclined. Arjuna asked the question, how does he walk, how does he talk, how does he behave? So Krishna is speaking about series of verses talking about a person who is a sthita prajna with a steady intelligence. And what kind of intelligence we discussed last week? Not a material intelligence, because that only is applicable to the body. Sthita Prajna is spiritual intelligence. He actually uses his spiritual intelligence to grow in bhakti. So with that, we want to read text 60. Yatato hi api kaunteya
यततो हि अपि कौन्तेय
purushasya vipaschitaha
पुरुषस्य
Purushasya
विपाश्चित
vipashyatah
indriyani pramarthani
indriyani
इन्द्रियाणि
pramathani
प्रमर्थानि
haranti prasabham manaha.
हरन्ति
haranti
प्रसभं
prasabham
मनः.
manaha.
Anybody can read this one?
Yeah, I can. The senses are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of man of discrimination who is endeavoring to control them.
Very nice. Thank you, Mataji, for reading this. There was a person. Okay. Yeah, let me cover that story. It can also be repeated. There are next few verses which can also imply that story. So he was the minister, or he was actually serving the king for a good period of life. Now he was on his deathbed. So the king decided to visit him because he offered his entire life. And while this king was going there, his young daughter also went with him. She was very beautiful. So when he entered the house of this person who was very old and on his deathbed, what is the meaning of deathbed? If one has to understand, it is basically leaving everything of this material world to forcibly leave this body and accept the laws of material nature and move into another body. So this person was in a very miserable situation on his deathbed. Nobody's lying down on the deathbed seeing nice TV and enjoying. Deathbed is very painful. So he was in a lot of pain. The king entered. Along with him, his beautiful daughter also entered, young daughter. And the minister also entered with the king. While king was talking, this minister or this person who was in his deathbed, his eyes were actually on the daughter of the king. This is how the powerful the senses are. That in spite of being on deathbed, being an old but person's tendency or person's senses cannot think anything other than enjoying the senses in whatever way. And that is how powerful the senses are. We see in in the beautiful story of Vishwamitra Muni. Vishwamitra Muni is actually the guru of Lord Ram and Lakshman. He's the one who actually took them to the forest. But before he became a Vishwamitra, a sage, he was actually a king, a devoted king, or a king, I would put it that way, but still devoted to a large extent. And then it's a very huge story. We can have a whole class. I will not go on the whole class, but just want to share that stuff. Thank you, Himanshi Prabhu, for joining. Very grateful. So what we see in this case, actually, I'm just going to put you on the mute if you don't mind. Yeah, thank you. So what we see in this case is, um sorry, lost track of it. Give me 1 second. Where was I? Can somebody remind me?
The
Talking
person
about
was,
Vishwamitra.
yeah,
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So Vishwamitra Muni, don't want to go to the wrong long story, but he became a sage and he wanted to become a Raja Rishi. Raja Rishi is considered to be the greatest of all the yogis because he has the enmity with Vashishta Muni, who is actually the Kula Guru of Lord Ram and Dashrath actually. So he wanted to become the the guru. He wanted to become that Raja Rishi. So for that he went to go and perform penance. When he started performing penance, Indra realized, because Indra, if you remember, Indra is not a person, Indra is a position. So a person has a certain piety. Like for an example, a person to take birth as Brahma, Brahma is also a position, Brahma is not a person. So for person to become Brahma, he has to spend, I think, 100 or 1,000 years, a completely pious life to attain that position. So same way for Indra, there is a certain requirement. So the existing person who was at Indra's position, he was scared that maybe Vishwamitra Muni will take away my position. So he sent the beautiful Apsara to actually distract him. And while Vishwamitra Muni was performing the tapasya, Menaka came and she came to actually distract him. And she started performing and talking in a sweet way. When Vishwamitra Muni opened his eyes, he saw the beauty of Menka, and becoming infatuated by her, he married her and started enjoying her. After a certain period of time, he realized, oh man, I just came here to perform austerity because I wanted to become a Rajarishi. And then he leaves Menka and again continues. He becomes, yeah, he realizes that. Same time, he again started doing tapasya for thousands of years. Then another heavenly girl, which was sent by Indra, comes to a Ramba, and she starts to actually distract him. And this time he realizes Indra sent her. He actually cursed her, but he became angry. The yogis are not supposed to be angry. So again, he has to start all over again. Why am I bringing this story? Is based on this context, which is the senses are so strong and impetus that they forcibly carry away a mind even of a man of discrimination who's endeavoring to control them. And that's where I gave an example about Vishwamitra Muni. Mataji, can you read the purport?
yeah. There are many learned sages, philosophers, and transcendentalists who try to conquer the senses, but in spite of their endeavors, even the greatest of them sometimes fall victim to material sense enjoyment due to the agitated mind. Even Vishwamitra, a great sage and perfect yogi, was misled by Menaka into sex enjoyment, although the yogi was endeavoring for sense control with severe types of penance and yoga practice. And of course, there are so many similar instances in the history of the world. Therefore, it is very difficult to control the mind and senses without being fully Krishna conscious. Without engaging the mind in Krishna, one cannot see such material engagements. A practical example is given by Sri Yamunacharya, a great saint and devotee, who says, since my mind has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and I have been enjoying an ever new transcendental humor. Whenever I think of sex life with a woman, my face at once turns from it and I spit at the thought. Krishna consciousness is such a transcendentally nice thing that automatically material enjoyment becomes distasteful. It is as if hungry man had satisfied his hunger by a sufficient quantity of nutrients, sufficient quantity of nutritious eatables. Maharaja Ambarisa also conquered a great yogi, Durga Muni, jnani simply because his mind was engaged in Krishna consciousness.
Very nice, Mother. Savai mansa, sorry. Savai mana Krishna padar vindayor vachamsi vankutha guno varnane. Very beautiful example, like a person whose belly is filled, irrelevant of however is your favorite dish. You don't have a place to eat, you will not eat. Similar way, Krishna consciousness gives you that fulfillment that you don't look for it. This whole world is revolves around opposite sex. Any advertisement, even a product of toothpaste, is actually speaking about a relationship between men and women. A person, a company who wants to sell the jacket, they put the men and women next to them, thinking that if I wear the jacket for a man, it'll think like a, for a woman, it'll think, oh, I will have attraction towards the man because it is opposite sex. So the whole world revolves around it. Whole material world is based on this phenomena about men and women being attracted to each other. But here we see, when one is practicing Krishna consciousness with that intensity, that desire to enjoy away from Krishna just goes away. There is another pastime which happens in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. When Krishna appeared as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Kali Yuga, just 500 years, approximately 500 years from now, he had one of the associates, his name is Haridas Thakur. He was a born Muslim, but he would chant 192 rounds every day. We just had this disappearance day some time back where I was inspiring you to chant more. So, that person, because he was born in a Muslim family, but he was so attached to chanting the name of Krishna, the Muslims were envious. So, they want to downgrade his position. So, the leader of that village, he actually sent a prostitute to him, very beautiful prostitute, to actually somehow engage with him in a way so that he can be identified that he is a woman hunker. So basically, and he wanted to catch that and showcase to the world that this is just a renounced, he's not a renounced monk, he is actually distracting people, or he himself is distracted. So this prostitute came at the right time, came in the right attire for basically attracting him. When Haridas Thakur saw her standing outside the door with the postures to actually give him a kind of attraction, at the time Haridas Thakur said, I take a vow to chant 192 rounds every day. I know why you are here, and I am happy to please you in whatever way you want. Just let me finish my quota of 192 rounds. And she waited. The whole night passed. And in the morning, Haridas Thakur begged forgiveness, saying that, sorry, I could not fulfill your desire. Tomorrow, you please come and I will fulfill your desire. She came second day. And then same, she came and he said, oh, I haven't finished my quota. Let me finish my rounds and then I'll enjoy with you. He chanted whole night. She heard it. She came third day, same thing. Fourth day when she came, she was attracted by his Krishna consciousness. She bowed down to his feet and begged forgiveness and told him the situation why she came here. And she said, I want to become your disciple. And Haridas Thakur was very pleased. He initiated her, made her disciple. He told her, sell all your money, you give all your money in charity to the Brahmanas. And then you stay in this hut in front of Tulsi plant and chant Krishna's name whole day. And everything, whatever is needed for your survival, the villagers will provide. And Haridas Thakur left that kutir where he was staying, he gave it to her, and she became a great spiritualist. This is a power when someone is actually deep in Krishna consciousness, can even conquer opposite relationship. Any questions or comments before we move to the next one? Okay, we are reading 2.61. Tani sarvani samyamya
Tani sarvani samyamya
yukta asita matparaha
yukta asita matpraha
vasehi yasya indriyani
वसेहि यस्येन्द्रियाणि
tasya prajna pratishtita.
तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Any volunteer for reading the translation?
Yeah, I can read.
Go ahead, bro.
One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me is known as a man of steady intelligence.
Beautiful. We already covered that story cover, so let's read the purport.
My screen, just give me a second.
Yeah, this is 2.61.
Uh, how can I change the screen?
Ha, no problem. Anybody
Now
else
just
can
a second.
can you see that, Prabhuji? Okay, let me.
Yeah,
I can read.
okay.
Okay, I'm just sharing my screen again. See if you can read the next one. You can read, Mataji. Can you see the purport
Yeah,
now,
yeah,
bro?
yes, yes,
Go
I
ahead.
can see now. That the highest conception of yoga perfection is Krishna consciousness is clearly explained in this verse. And unless one is Krishna conscious, it is not at all possible to control the senses. As cited above, the great sage Durvasa Muni picked a quarrel with Maharaja Ambarish, and Durvasa Muni unnecessarily became angry out of pride and therefore could not check his senses. On the other hand, the king, although not a powerful yogi as the sage, but a devotee of the Lord, silently tolerated all the sage's injustices and thereby emerged victorious. The king was able to control his senses because of the following qualifications, as mentioned in the Bhagavatam. King Ambarisha fixed his mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, engaged his words in describing the abode of the Lord, his hands in cleansing the temple of the Lord, his ears in hearing the pastimes of the Lord, his eyes in seeing the form of the Lord, his body in touching the body of the devotee, his nostrils in smelling the flavor of the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, his tongue in tasting the tulsi leaves offered to him, his legs in traveling to the holy place where his temples is situated, his head is offering obeisances upon the Lord, and his desires in fulfilling the desires of the Lord. And all these qualifications made him fit to become a Matpara devotee of the Lord. The word Matpara is most significant in this connection. How one can become Matpara is described in the life of Maharaja Ambarish. Srila Baladeva Vidyabhushana, a great scholar and acharya in the line of Matpara, remarks, Madbhakti prabhavena uh, sarvendriya vijaya purvika svatva drishta sulabheti bhava. The senses can be completely controlled only by the strength of devotional service to Krishna. Also, the example of fire is sometimes given. As a blazing fire burns everything within a room, Lord Vishnu, situated in the heart of a yogi, burns up all kinds of impurities. The Yoga Sutra also prescribes meditation on Vishnu and not meditation on the void. The so-called yogis who meditate on something other than the Vishnu form simply waste their time in a vain search after some phanta-
Fantastic.
phantasmagoria. We have to be Krishna conscious, devoted to the personality of Godhead. This is the aim of real yoga.
Very beautiful, Prabhu. Thank you for reading. We see it, and yes, in previous verse and this verse specifically talking about Ambarish Maharaj. By the way, where are these pastimes coming from? They all come from Srimad Bhagavatam. If you do not have Srimad Bhagavatam, please let me know. It's a wonderful opportunity to actually have Srimad Bhagavatam invited because Srimad Bhagavatam is not different from Krishna. So, King Ambrish was a pure devotee of the Lord. He would engage all his senses in Krishna's service, and we read that in the purport. Like for smelling, he will smell the tulsi. For tasting, he will actually use tulsi. For feet, he would use it to go to holy place. Hands will be basically involved in cleaning the temple, though he was a king. So one time, Muni is very popular. He is none other than Lord Shiva's incarnation. So he actually came to visit King Amrish. He was passing from here. And King Amrish fasted for an entire year. And I repeat, he fasted for entire year, not to gain something out of this material world, but for the welfare of his citizens. So he actually fasted for others. So when Kung Durvasa came, he whenever guests come, we offer something to eat. So Durasmane said, please come and honor. He said, okay, I'm hungry and I have thousands of disciples. I'll take a bath and come back and then make sure all the arrangements are there. And based on the rules, you should not eat before the guest eat. You're supposed to feed the guest. That's the rule of that's the rules when we serve the guest. So Parikshit, sorry, this Amrish Maharaj was fasting, and to complete or break the fast, there is a particular time you have to break in that fast to get the fruits of whatever you have done. That's why when you perform Ekadashi, the next day Dwadashi, there is a time to complete. I'm not using break because break is not considered to be great. Completion of the fast. So there is a time which is called as Parna time. You should actually complete the fast during that time only. That gives you a complete result of following Ekadashi. So now he had to break the fast and he did not drink or eat anything for entire 1 year. So you can imagine his austerity. So he was now worried because he has to finish on a particular time. Durvas Muni is not here. That Parna time was about to finish. So he consulted the minister, what should I do? They said, drinking a sip of water is considered as breaking the fast as well as not considering breaking the fast. So you do that. So the moment he drank a sip of water, Durvas Muni actually got to know because he was a mystic. So he realized that, but Ambarish Maharaj ate or drank something without waiting for me. So he became so angry, he plucked one hair from his head and actually created a huge fiery demon. This fiery demon was chasing to kill Ambarish Maharaj. Can you imagine not just offering proper respect to a guest? The death personified comes behind you. That is a very, very difficult story to understand, a difficult pastime to understand, but that's the reality. Earlier times, these rules were so strict. So, demon, while rushing towards Ambarish Maharaj offered the pranam at lotus feet of Krishna, just remembering, if you want me to be killed, let it happen. If you want to save, you will take care. Immediately, Lord released the Sudarshan Chakra. Sudarshan Chakra killed that demon, and now Sudarshan Chakra rushed towards Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni is a very powerful mystic. He went all around 14 planetary system, and behind him was Sudarshan Chakra. He went to Brahmaji, who is actually his father. Brahmaji says, I cannot save you from Sudarshan Chakra. Then he went to Lord Shiva. He is actually an incarnation of Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva says, I cannot help you. You have to go to Lord Vishnu. He went to Lord Vishnu, whose Sudarshan Chakra is rushing behind him. Lord Vishnu said, I cannot help you because my Sudarshan Chakra, you offended my devotee. Even I cannot help you now. You have to beg forgiveness from the devotee. Only the devotee can save you. He rushed towards Ambarish Maharaj back to earthly planet. And Ambarish Maharaj offered pranam in return. He said, what? You never offended me. I am the culprit because of me. You had to rush so hard. You had to work so hard to 14 planetary systems. Please forgive me. And when Durvas Muni heard that, his heart melted and he offered prayers to Lord Vishnu in glorification of Ambarish Maharaj. That what kind of devotee you have? They are so tolerant. Even I'm actually about to kill them with my enemy or with my demon created from my hand. He is offering pranam. And that is the power of Ambrish Maharaj. You can imagine what kind of tolerance one person has who is Krishna conscious. So hope this pastime makes sense. Any questions or comments before we move to next one? Okay. Let's read 2.62. Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa
ध्यायतो विषयान्
Yan
पुंसा
Pinsa,
Sangaste Tesu Pajayate
सङ्गस्ते
Sangaspeshu,
सुपजायते
Pradayate,
Sangat Sanjayate Kama
Sangha
सङ्गात् सञ्जायते
Sanjayate
कामः
Kamaha,
Kamat Krodho Abhijayate.
कामात्
Kamat
क्रोधो
Krodho,
अभिजायते
Hidayate.
Anybody reading willing to read the translation?
Yeah, sure, I can do it. While
Go ahead, ma'am.
contemplating while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from lust, anger arises.
Beautiful. This is a very, very, very beautiful verse. While contemplating on the object of senses. So I mentioned it before, but just want to run through. You have sense objects. Superior to those are senses. Superior to senses is a mind. Superior to mind is an intelligence. Superior to intelligence is the ego. The hierarchy happens when anyone is contemplating on the object of senses. One develops attachment that I need it, and when that attachment is actually is little far, it just tries to reach, the lust develops. I want to enjoy that object. And if that desire is not fulfilled, that lust is not fulfilled, that develops anger. This is whole, we spoke in the beginning, this is a Kartik month, when actually when Ravana actually was killed by Lord Ram. This happens this month itself. And what is Ravana's situation? When Shrupanka, his sister, when she was when her nose was cut off, she came back to him and started crying. And what she did is, very interestingly, she started glorifying Mother Sita's beautiful body. She started describing beautiful limbs of Sri Sita Maya. And when Ravana heard that, his desire to enjoy Sita developed. And when he started hearing more and more, he started developing attachment towards her. Lust developed. And he started actually calling out. First, he called his uncle, Marichi. Marichi said, never mess up with Ram. I did it before. He's a very powerful person. Ravana said, if you don't fulfill my desire, I will kill you. He became angry that whatever happens, and you see, Ravana's brothers were killed in the war field. His son was killed in war field. His army was killed in war field. But because that lust to enjoy Sita was so strong, Ram said, even if you offer Sita, even if you bow down and give Sita back, I will leave you alone. But he was, no, I want to have Sita. And she became the cause of entire dynasty to die just because of one desire, of lusty desire to enjoy Sita. Please go ahead and read purport, Mataji.
One who is not Krishna conscious is subjected to material desires while contemplating the objects of the senses. The senses require real engagements, and if they are not engaged in transcendental, loving service of their Lord, they will certainly seek engagement in the service of materialism. In the material world, everyone, including Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, to say nothing of their demigods in the heavenly planets, is subjected to the influence of sense objects. And the only method to get out of this puzzle of material existence is to become Krishna conscious. Lord Shiva was deep in meditation, but when Parvati agitated him for sense pleasure, he agreed to the proposal, and as a result, Kartikeya was born. When Haridas Thakur was a young devotee of the Lord, he was similarly allured by the incarnation of Maya Devi, but Haridas easily passed the test because of his unalloyed devotion to Lord Krishna. As illustrated in the above mentioned verse of Sri Yamunacharya, a sincere devotee of the Lord shuns all material sense enjoyment due to his higher taste for spiritual enjoyment in the association of the Lord. That is the secret of success. One who is not, therefore, Krishna conscious, however powerful he may be in controlling the senses by artificial repression, is sure ultimately to fail, for the slightest thought of sense pleasure will agitate him, gratify his desires.
Very nice. Thank you so much. There is another one story of Saubari Muni. Saubari Muni was such a powerful sage like Vishwamitra Muni. He would actually do tapasya underwater during winter in Himalaya and such that you can imagine what cold it is. Just very little cold here and then we get stuck here in Michigan. You can imagine on Himalayas and just being underwater, freezing water. One day Garuda came to actually Garuda's food is fish because is a bird, and then the fish took shelter of the root of shelter of Saubari Muni. Saubari Muni actually cursed Garuda, if you come here and try to touch any of the fish, you will die. Garuda offered pranam and left from there. But remember, Garuda is not an ordinary person. He is actually carrier of Lord Vishnu. He displeased his devotee, Krishna's devotee, Lord Vishnu's devotee. So one day, renunciate, he was a monk, he left everything and he was just doing tapasya. One day he saw a male fish and female fish mating. When he saw that, his desire to enjoy opposite sex developed, and he went ahead and married many daughters of a king. So you can imagine how powerful are the senses. Even for a yogi who is actually forget about, we can't even dream about such a yogic way or yogic way of living life. We can't even think about, just being outside in winter without the jacket. Here he is actually under freezing water. Even such a yogi, the senses are uncontrolled. And from external perspective, you see senses are controlled. But that's the power. The senses can overcome us. The desires can overcome us at any time if we are not Krishna conscious. Any questions or comments before we move to next verse? Okay. This is in sequence to the previous word. Krodad bhavati sammoha.
Krodhat bhavati sammoha.
Sammoha smriti vibramaha.
Sammohat smriti
Moha
vibramaha.
Smriti brasmad buddhinasho.
Smriti
Smriti-भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो
buddhinasho.
Buddhinashat pranashyati.
बुद्धिनाशात्
Buddhinashat
प्रमस्यति
प्रणश्यति.
pranashyati.
Beautiful. Thank you. Can anyone read the translation?
I can read.
Go ahead, Marji.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusion, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one falls down again into the material pool.
Beautiful. All the stories which we discuss about Ravana completely applies here. Go ahead and read this, Madhuri.
By development of Krishna consciousness, one can know that everything has its use in the service of the Lord. Those who are without knowledge of Krishna consciousness artificially try to avoid material objects, and as a result, although they desire liberation from material bondage, they do not attain to the perfect stage of renunciation. Their so called renunciation is called Falgu, or less important. On the other hand, a person in Krishna consciousness knows how to use everything in the service of the Lord. Therefore, he does not become a victim of material consciousness. For example, for an impersonalist, the Lord or the Absolute, being impersonal, cannot eat, whereas an impersonalist tries to avoid good eatables, a devotee knows that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer and that he eats all that is offered to him in devotion. So, after offering good eatables to the Lord, the devotee takes the remnants called prasadam. Thus, everything becomes spiritualized and there is no danger of a downfall. The devotee takes prasadam in Krishna consciousness, whereas the non devotee rejects it as material. The impersonalist therefore cannot enjoy life due to his artificial renunciation, and for this reason a slight agitation of the mind pulls him down again into the pool of material existence. It is said that such a soul, even though rising up to the point of liberation, falls down again due to his not having support in devotional service.
Very beautiful. Thank you for reading this, Mataji. We see this beautiful example. Durvasa Muni is a renunciate, and Ambrish Maharaj is a king. He has all the opulence. Durvasa Muni has no opulence. He is completely given up. Same way Saubari Muni. Saubari Muni is renunciate. He is meditating under freezing water in Himalayas. So that vairagya, that renunciation is faulty, it's false if our senses are not engaged in Krishna's service. We cannot artificially control our desires. We cannot artificially stop every activity. It's better to engage every activity in Krishna's service. You can enjoy a nice pizza, you can enjoy nice pasta, you can have lasagnas, you can have cakes, you can have so many varieties of food as long as it is offered to God. Because when it is offered to Krishna, it becomes prasad. And what is the difference in Hindi? We say, जिसका जूठा खाते हैं, उसकी इच्छाएं उसके जैसा मन होता है. Which means whatever whose remnants we eat, we become like that person. Like you are what you associate. So similar way, when we eat the remnants of God, develop godly qualities, and ultimately we go back to Godhead, because the most important part about eating ordinary food, which is not offered, the same pizza, if it is not offered to Krishna, we are eating sin. But if food is offered to God and you eat that same food, it becomes prasad, you don't incur any sin. So that's the difference between an ordinary food and prasad. Prasad takes you out. That's why when somebody leaves the body, they actually, that period of time, they feed brahmanas. They don't cook anything with onion and garlic. They don't eat any non-vegetarian. And whatever they cook, they actually offer to brahmanas. The brahmanas offer to Lord Vishnu. And then you can eat that. But that is not only for the time when actually somebody is leaving, some close relative is leaving. It is actually a practice one has to follow every day to actually offer everything, because that's the fruit of our activity, karma phala. When that karma phala is not involved, when it's not included in Krishna's service, that becomes sin. Because however way we are earning, whichever company we work for, they may involve in certain sinful activities, and we are part of it. So we will get the karma even if we are not involved directly in that one. But when one offers the fruit of activity, which is salary, whether you make food or you offer donation, that is actually purified the whole. So not just what you're offering. Say for an example, you cook for 10 people, you offer Krishna one plate of prasad and mix it with the whole food become prasad. Similar way, when you offer even certain aspect of your earnings, the whole earning becomes purified. I'm not asking for money here. Please forgive me about that, but I want to share the principle here. Any questions or comments on this verse? Okay. Can we share the takeaways? What are the points we discussed today? If you don't mind, we can go every person in this room can share what we discussed today and what is a takeaway for you today. Who wants to start first?
Yeah, I think I have one point. Senses, right? If you can control the senses, get closer to Krishna would be good. That's what I kind of get it.
Very nice. But we gave an example about Durvasa Muni. We gave an example about Saubari Muni. We give an example about Durvasa Muni, Saubari Muni, and we also give an example about Vishwamitra Muni. They were controlling the senses. Were they becoming close to God?
They weren't, because they failed to actually control.
Correct, but artificially controlling the senses will not lead us. However, engaging the senses in Krishna's service, like Ambrish Maharaj did, offered everything to God, and then he used his hand to wipe out the Krishna's temple. He used his feet to go and visit holy places. That's how he purified. So that's the point which I want to add on the beautiful point you said, Prabhu. Make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Any other points or reflections?
Prabhu, you said this is the Kartik month, so we have to chant holy names as much as we can,
Yes.
and to please Radharani, to give, to take the blessing from Radharani to get more ahead of Krishna consciousness.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. We discussed about the importance of Kartik month. This is the month of Srimati Radharani. Diwali happens this time. We discussed Yashoda Maya, Yashoda Damodar Leela, which happens also on Diwali day. So it's a beautiful moment. We also discussed about two fingers short. The rope was two fingers short. One is our effort, and second is Krishna's mercy. Beautiful. Any other points?
Prabhu, I do have one question regarding that. Krishna Damodar Ashtakam, it's very hard to
Think.
recite for
No problem.
me.
You can play that. I will
You can
send the
play.
audio. You
Yeah,
can play
I
that
do
and you can
have that from
offer.
YouTube. Can I play that?
Yes,
And
you can offer.
okay,
Yes, you can offer
thanks.
live singing that. Very nice. I will share Damodar Ashtakam, which is actually a prayer written by Satyavrata Muni in glorifying Yashoda Damodar. So every day during Kartik month, we offer the lamb to Krishna and Yashoda Damodar. You can search Yashoda Damodar picture. I'll share you the picture. You
Mm,
can play that audio or video, whatever it is, and you can offer the lamp every day. That's
yeah.
a very, very auspicious. Thank you for asking and sharing that point, Mataji. Any other reflections, comments, takeaways? Looks like either you digested everything or nothing, but I'm very grateful for your presence. Let's chant one round together. This is a very special month, so we will chant one round together. Let me just grab the beat back, but let me just go ahead and stop the recording. So